There's a lack of humanity in that in his proposals, and a huge misunderstanding of what he calls chain migration, which let's label it what it is. It's really family migration. It's really the right to have your wife and your children here. It is not like if I'm a U.S. citizen, I can bring my uncle or my cousin or even my grandfather. That doesn't work like that, okay? If I'm a U.S. citizen, I can only bring my children, and the wait times are very long depending on how old the child is, depending if the child is married. If I'm a green card holder, I can only bring my wife and children. That's pretty much it. A U.S. citizen can bring a brother or a sister, obviously a sibling, but the wait time for those categories are long. If you're from Mexico and you're trying to bring your brother into the country, we've discussed in public events before, the wait time can be about 18 to 20 years. And so
your grandparents.
So that's a long chain if he's trying to look at chain migration and calling it that. That's a misnomer. I think that we're really trying to say is we are de-emphasizing the family here and family values. We want to separate families and not keep them together, really. And that's really what is at base when he says that. And then we look at sort of how the border security measures that are being proposed as a negotiation tactic for the Dreamer and DACA, which is the program that President Obama implemented to protect the lives of folks that had been here and had been brought through no fault of their own. Those folks are extremely popular, even with Republicans. This is a bipartisan effort to protect those kids. And I think the latest polls were that 80% of folks sort of agreed with the Dreamers' cause. So they poll very well, yet they're being utilized as a bargaining chip in order to get a border wall, which we all know is going to be inefficient and costly.
Billions and billions of dollars. So talk to us about the scope again. You've mentioned there are thousands of people in North Carolina. People may not really have their arms around this, though. I mean, talk about what the scale of this is in North Carolina in terms of how many people are really, in jeopardy these days and feeling the terror, really, of uncertainty with respect to immigration policy.
Yeah, as far as temporary protected status, or TPS, like we discussed before, we're looking at about 13,000 people that were from Honduras, El Salvador, and Haiti. A little less folks from Nicaragua that would be affected, but those are the three main groups that would have it. So those folks would actually be, as we said before, just losing their status, just completely losing their right to be in North Carolina. As far as the DACA kids are concerned, we have about 28,000 folks. A little bit more now. The latest figures were about 28,000. And that was about a year ago or so. And so the scope of those folks, again, if there is no legislative fix for that issue, then those folks are going to be losing their status as it could be as early as March 5th.